G'day ice cream lovers, my name's Christensen, the ice cream bloke and self-appointed headmaster of Scoop School down here. Using the whiteboard today, pretty exciting. Hey, I do want to thank our episode sponsor before we jump into the meat of the content, which is iRice and Company, based on the east coast of the United States, selling through distribution all over the United States. iRice, well, they do a great job in hot fudge, hot caramel, butterscotch, marshmallow. They do bases, so you can do a double rich chocolate base, you can do a custard base, you can do all of these different bases, anything really that you can put on or in ice cream to make it better and to make it taste great. iriceco.com, IRICECO.com. Links down here. Tell them that the ice cream bloke sent you. Now, this is a question that we get asked, I would probably say weekly here at Scoop School, through people coming to class, consulting, people sending in emails, talking on the phone. And you may have heard me talk about this before. I don't think we've done a specific video, but the question is, or should I say the assumption is, that if you take two pasteurized products together and you mix them in your store environment, most people feel as though, well, everything's pasteurized, so we can add these two pasteurized products together and everything's fine. And I'm here to tell you that's not necessarily the case. In fact, again, I'm going to refer you back to your local health department or state agricultural department. But a lot of times when you're adding a pasteurized product, let's say a premium ice cream mix of 14%, and then you want to add a pasteurized egg yolk product, your state department may not allow that to happen. In fact, I'm probably 90% in saying that 90% of them will not allow you to do that. I want to explain to you why. Because the perception is that, okay, so everything that I'm putting together has gone under high heat pasteurization. We've spoken about pasteurization in another video series. I'll try and link it down here. But suffice to say that pasteurization is where you're heating a product up to cook out bacteria, so it makes it healthy for humans to consume and sets a use-by date. So let's say we've got our 14% ice cream base. So that's our, well, let's put our 14% ice cream base, and then we want to make what let's call it a French vanilla, New York vanilla, and we want to add a certain amount of pasteurized egg yolk. So here's our egg yolk. Now the problem is not the fact that they've both been pasteurized, because that's a good thing. They should be pasteurized independently of each other. But the thing is that there are different strains and different types of bacteria in different products. So when this 14%, this one here, 14% ice cream mix is pasteurized, it's got all different types, sorry, turning my back to the camera, all different types of its own strain of bacteria through there, and when it's cooked or pasteurized, a lot of them are killed out. Some always remain, otherwise the product would be bacteria-free, and there's really not a lot of things that are bacteria-free when it comes to the food world, but you're minimizing the amount of bacteria that's in there through pasteurization. Now, your egg yolk has been pasteurized as well. However, it's got totally different bacterial strains in it than your ice cream base. So in and of themselves, if they're pasteurized, all of those ingredients are pasteurized together. In your ice cream base, it'll be your milk, cream, sugar, stabilizer, water, and everything else that goes into an ice cream mix, and it's all pasteurized all at one point, then that's fine because they've all been pasteurized together. Same with the egg yolk. When you combine the two, what you may find is that the strain of bacteria in the egg yolk does not play well with the bacteria that's already left in the ice cream mix. So what you have happening is sometimes a rapid acceleration of bacteria when those two bacteria come together. So that's why when you talk to a mix manufacturer and they're talking about frozen custard mix, that frozen custard mix has egg yolk in it, but it's all pasteurized together. All those ingredients are pasteurized together. So by rights, what you need to do or have had done is have all of those products pasteurized together, the different bacterial strains and the different ingredients of your recipe, all pasteurized together so it's safe to use as a whole, not as combining in the back of the store. Now, some states and some counties take umbrage to the fact that even adding milk to a powdered product that has caseinate powder in it or a dairy powder in it, they don't even want you doing that. They only want you to add water to something like that. So it's really important to go back to your state, local health department, because they are the ones that are setting the rules primarily on what you can and can't do in the process of recipe formulation in your store. But as a general rule, you need to get past this principle that, oh, I've got a pasteurized product here, I've got a pasteurized product here, put them together, they're both pasteurized. It's not the case. And sometimes you can make people very, very ill because these two strains of bacteria were never meant to be together unpasteurized. Pasteurized in and of themselves, but not together, if that makes sense. Look, again, this is general rules. Always go back to your local health department or state authority, get it in writing, find the legislation, and make sure you comply, because if you make someone very sick and they make a complaint to that health department and you're kind of in the back of the store mixing these two products together, you could be in a world of hurt. You don't need that press, you don't need the aggravation. Check first. Look, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns or about the ice cream business, drop us a line. We would love to answer them for you. Steve@scoopschool.com, or alternatively go to scoopschool.com. Thank you again to Rod and all the crew there at iRice for sponsoring this episode. Keep on scooping, and we'll see you in the next one.